Welcome everyone, anyone watching live, anyone watching the replay, welcome. It's so gorgeous to be here and with you and sharing the incredible messages from the Spirit Baby realm. They have an awful lot to share. They're really wanting to be heard, even more it feels, because they're really looking at the world and how they see it, how they see us, how they see you, if your own future babies or babies that weren't able to stay, how they see you, what they're asking us to do, what they're asking us to focus on, and as always, their message is stay in your own lane. They have a very different viewpoint of what's going on to what we might experience, so they're helping to lift us up, always lift us up, beyond what we are seeing, the stories that we're telling ourselves. And I've just written down, I was just making some notes about what I was going to share today apart from the two messages, and I've written down children are our greatest teachers. Now, we've all heard that saying, and they really are. They really do. If we're aware of, if we're looking at them and not looking at them through our eyes and how we want them to be or how we expect them to be, or, just in our own patterns that we can only see what we see, but we see them. They really are our beautiful, beautiful teachers. Again, always asking us to step up that level, always, showing us a different viewpoint or a different way of being. And this is the same before they even arrive. So before your children even arrive in the world, they are our greatest teachers. Okay, so they can be our greatest teachers because they've got so much to share. And then I was called to I used my book Rose's Choice, Healing the Wounds of the Mother. So I often use this as an oracle, whether I'm with clients, for myself as well, just to say, just to see, what message is it that I need to hear, or what messages does Rosa, one of my spirit babies, what does she want me to know today? And of course I turn to page 144 if you do have the book, and it's why do we feel and respond the way we do? And the very first line is, I believe in the statement that our children are our greatest teachers. Okay, this is the same in my eyes, whether you are physically with your child, that they weren't able to stay, or are yet to be born. Okay, there is no linear explanation as to why we feel what we feel or think what we think. We are energy, and if we follow the energy, starting with the most pressing issue, most often with the support of a trained practitioner, so you're really guided as you're your own healer. But people like me, we're there to hold that space and guide you into those places. And delving into our subconscious minds, we can find the answers and transform the limiting beliefs and feelings. If we take responsibility for our own healing, we are not only helping ourselves, but all of those around us. Subconscious reactions can be triggered by particular words, because words carry a meaning and the body responds to that meaning. So it's basically the chapter on beliefs, and one of the messages that Spirit Baby wished to share today is around beliefs around a certain behaviour, the servant girl behaviour. And it was really interesting because when you think about being the servant girl, you're like, no, this is not what we're in. And I was like, oh, servant girl, where am I holding that? And then, of course, with our children being our greatest teachers, I'm so aware that we're all sitting at home and my 10-year-old goes, Mum, can you get me a glass of water? And I jump up and get a glass of water, even though he's perfectly capable, just as close, to get his own glass of water. So these are the kind of unconscious patterns, that obedience to requests, that I've got to keep everybody else happy kind of things. These are all beliefs and patterns and programs, and it can be uncomfortable moving out of them because they're so ingrained and they've been there for a very long time. So that's kind of the servant girl, coming out of the servant girl energy, is one of the messages that Spirit Baby wanted to share today. Okay, and that little messages from Rosa. So we're definitely being asked to look at our beliefs. What's our beliefs? What's our patterns? And then the second message that came through only the other day was a very expansive message. So again, just expanding our thoughts, as conception as creation, and not to separate our journey to motherhood from our soul journey and from who we are. Okay, so they're kind of interlinked, with this expansion into being the woman. And the babies are, the servant girl message, which I'll read in a second, is it's a bit butt kicking really. So it's very cool. They're being very feisty, these babies. So before I read the messages, I just wanted to share that really looking forward to tomorrow evening. I'm holding another evening with Spirit Baby, where I guide people into their in a healing meditation to connect with their energy, with their spirit baby, their future baby, or baby was able to stay. And then I tune into the babies myself and pass any messages on that way. So there are spaces left. It's only £33, and it's just a way of getting to know your baby, getting to know an aspect that they wish to share with you, that they're aware of, that you might not be, and to share a message with you. Very deep messages. They're not often they're not surface messages. I would say anyone who's been on them realizes they're not surface messages. They're very healing and they bring up things that need to be looked at, that the babies are sort of seeing, because they see you and they see your potential. And there's just certain things in the way from our past traumas and things like that, that they help and support us to lift off, so we can lift to match them, to meet them, to be in that frequency. And so that's tomorrow evening. So there are spaces left. Normally it really fills up straight away, so I don't know what's going on, but there are spaces left if you wish to join, if you listen to this, if you're listening to this recording in time. I can feel the baby's coming in. I'm getting so hot. And then my IVF and assisted conception. So last month's message was around, from the babies, was how they see IVF and assisted conception, and offering some really beautiful reframes of how that of that particular journey, and they really want to support their mums and their their parents. So more than welcome for partners, of course, to be listening to the replays, or if same-sex partner joining, it's just keeping it as women, but partners very open. I will be doing couples work more next year, I've been told, so let's wait for that moment. But for now, just this beautiful opening the pathway to empowered IVF and assisted conception. And it's a 3-day journey. So we have an opening call on Sunday, this coming Sunday, and then a call on every 3 days after that. So Wednesday, Saturday, and the following Tuesday. Where we'll be really looking about you connecting with the energy of the clinic, clearing anything that may be uncomfortable, really looking at you stepping into your power, of course connecting with your babies, connecting with yourself, looking at any fears, any worries, and really really building those foundations. So I know we're going into the womb, like your womb, yourself as a baby. I've been told that. We'll be looking at timelines. What timeline are you on? Where's your conception timeline? So we'll be doing some timeline work, and just letting any timelines that aren't helpful and not needed, just letting them go. So we're doing timeline work, and just looking at lots of fears. I can't get my words out now. But anyway, take a look on my website, debrakilby.com, for that. Or on my Facebook page under the events, on my main Facebook page, Debra Kilby Healing and Channeling, and you'll find loads of information, or just drop me a message, and I can send you more information. But it's just, again, it's £111 just to get everyone hides their price. I'm like, no, that's the price. That's the price. You go into a shop, what something is, you want to know. So I just think that's the price. Because the energy is so beautiful right now, whatever you're feeling, but the energy I'm connecting with the babies, it feels very ripe. And so I'm offering a one-to-one call with me. So as well as the program, you get a one-to-one, an hour one-to-one call with me, where we connect with your particular unique circumstances and of course your future babies from this course. And my one-to-one prices just for a one-off call is $125, so it's a real you know, it's kind of a no-brainer really. If you wanted to, if you're thinking about working with me, you get the call with me, and you also get this really beautiful held space and container to just transform, like really change the way you feel about your journey, about yourself, connecting in with your embryos or your donors, or you know, just energetically aligning everything. That's really what the intention is. That's really what I've been told we'll be doing. Okay, so take a look at that, and please do ask away for any questions. All right, so we are going to, I'm going to now read these messages from Spirit Baby. So the first one is the servant girl energy. So just being aware of where you do these things, what's where you are in this energy that we've had for generations, let's face it. Okay, so when I went up to the Spirit Baby realm, I was shown the image of a servant girl or handmaiden bringing tea, tending to the needs of the others, and then my Spirit Baby Rosa shared the following message. You are all walking around as if you are serving girls, bringing tea, tending to the needs of others as if this was your purpose. And this is not your purpose. Your purpose is to be both tended upon and tending to the needs of others, as others would expect you to be doing. But again, is this the truth of your purpose? Are you to bring up your boys to expect the best and be tended to, whilst they do all the hard jobs of bringing the money and killing the dinner? And are you to bring up your girls to tend to the needs of others and not to see it as a hard job, just a job women do? No, I think not. And I feel for many of you, you would gall at this fact. But the fact is, many of you are still moving around this earth as if it was the case, as if you were a servant to the world and not a powerful creator of this world. Not because you are not good enough, but because you have been told you are not good enough, worthy enough in any sense, but to do the bidding of those who do not hold this program, or who may hold it, but go the other way with it, and demand and refuse it to be the case. So we're just looking at this program. It is an actual program. So we're even going to start imagining if there was a program of obedience, of serving, of tending to the needs of others because they're more important than us, you know, whatever that belief is. Start imagining this energy. If this was a program, what would it look like? What would its shape or form be? And just starting to feel that in your body, like this servant girl energy, serving, keeping everyone happy, people pleasing, you know, as if you're, you know, you're less important than them. Okay, so just start allowing that to bubble up in your body, being aware of it, and seeing if there's an image. If it looked like anything, what would it look like? Okay, and so the message continues. And so these people who are, you know, snap, snap, come here. And so they have to prove they are enough by others doing their bidding and feeling better about themselves by making others feel worse about themselves. And this may seem old-fashioned and it may seem out of date in comparison to where you are now. However, there is still this underlying feeling of servant girl, and that you do not have a right to take up space, or you do not have a right to command and create in case you upset the balance of life. But this is not the balance of life. This is the imbalance of life. And it is time for you, time to restore the balance, to step out of the ways of the servant girl and into the ways of the woman. You are the woman you have always and will be, no matter your gender or class, for these two are false notions, and your babies will remind you of this. For they are not coming in to be servants or bullies. They are coming in to explore, to create, to find happy and be happy with who they are and where they are, and have no plan in their story that this is indeed in their history. For his story is only told by those who wish to see it in their way and wish others to see it that way when it may not be that way at all. And so if you as a woman told her story, what stories would you be telling? Would you be telling the stories of the victim and how hard life was, or is? or will be? Or are you telling the story of the woman who endured those parts of his story with a knowing in her heart that she was right all along, and it didn't make a difference how many lifetimes she lived and how many lifetimes it takes, that at some point in time in her lifetime that balance would be redressed, that his story and her story are simply a story in the unfolding of humankind, and it need play no part now in the story you are creating for yourself. For you are not a story, you are a being of great magnitude, and one who can step out of the stories to create her own, create what she wishes, not what anyone else wishes or demands to be the case. If it was women in charge of the narratives, the stories, what would the difference be in the world? Not the wounded woman, the victim woman, but the woman who rises up and says enough to the old and yes to the new. How would the world look? And is it a world you wish to see? And if so, then make it so. You are not attached to the his story or her story of others or even your own. There is a time of the new, and that new is now. There is a narrative that says we are all learning from our mistakes, but who said they were mistakes? Who said it was wrong? Who is actually learning from the past? Right now, not many. So maybe it is time to stop looking for answers from the past, feeling yourself cutting ties and attachments to these stories of the past and stepping into the new. And there is no harm going into the past, but the only past you need to go into is your own thoughts and feelings of that moment, that lifetime, that experience, to realize the truth of your own story within it, and not the story as told to you by others. And within this, all will be free. The stories of what it means to be a woman, what it's been like to be suppressed, not to say this didn't happen, but the longer you stay in the story, the longer it will take to come out of it, and then find your own truth within it and set yourself free. For when you are free of the story, others will be too. And your babies have no interest in stories. They only have interest in all of life and what it has to offer. What they make of it will be theirs and theirs alone, and not the stories of others. Okay, so that's the first message. So just breathing that one in. Gorgeous. Yes, so when I said that message was a bit, it's feisty, it's a feisty message. It's like, we know the stories, we've lived the stories in lifetimes, we're living them now, we're still living the patterns of that. And now you're more than a story, and you're certainly more than the history or the her story of this. It's time to come out of that. So certainly part of my work is traveling back to past lives if we need to, if they're relevant. Otherwise, being always being in the present, going, where do I feel it? So where do you feel that servant girl energy? Where do you feel you give yourself away, you people please? And as I said, just imagine that, feeling that in your body. Imagine what that might look like if this program that we've been programmed with, like from old stories, what does that look like? And do you need it anymore? And keep it simple and just imagine, do I need that? Where is it? It's in my head. Okay, it looks like this. It actually looks like a computer chip, for example. Okay, I'm going to let go of that computer chip. I'm going to put it into this ball of light and send it back to source. I no longer need it. I'm here to create my own life, my own story, my own way of living. Okay, so that's the first message. So butt kicking, come on, like you're so much more than all of these stories. So the servant girl energy. And the other message is much shorter, it's very expansive, so just stay with me because it's kind of related to this empowerment message. So when I connected into the Spirit Baby Around to Rose, I said, what do women in conception need to know today? So this is more for women who are in conception. And this is their response. There is a separation of fertility from creation. The babies wish you to know that they are creation, you are creation, the world is creation. And so look at where you are creating and where you are not. And do you see yourself creating a life with a baby, or do you see yourself as wishing to become pregnant? It's time to expand this view and your view that creation is separate from your life. All you are doing each and every day is creating the life you wish to see, and also creating the life you may not wish to see. And so expand, my dears, expand into the woman who is creation, and not just the woman who wishes to become pregnant, who wishes to become a mum, because you are all of these things. But ultimately what you are doing is creating and being a part of creation as the creator you are. So can you expand your sense of self from a woman who may be without a child, a woman who wants a child, and grow yourself, expand yourself into the woman who is creating life itself. Your babies know they are creation. They know they are more than the baby bodies you yearn to hold. For yes, they are this, and yet they are so much more. They are adding to the flavor and creation of the whole universe, as are you. And as you begin to step into your role as a creator, more and more knowing that everything you do is a creation, then you will feel yourself expand more and more, even relax a little into your knowing that you are merging with your babies for creation's sake. They are so much more. And so the image I saw was of you, a woman with energy fields glowing and expanding out and meeting the energy fields of your baby. So you're creating, change the language from I'm trying to get pregnant, I want to get pregnant, I'd love to have a baby, to I am in my creation process right now. Some works of art take years to create. What are you creating, and what are you creating with your babies? So expand into the knowledge you are not getting pregnant or trying, you are creating, and be aware of what it is you are creating, and how would it feel to be in that space of creating. I'm creating with my babies. Does this take the pressure of getting pregnant or trying to conceive or wanting a baby? Feeling this. We're creating this life together. You're constantly birthing yourself with every emotion and everything you move through and rise through. We're rising on this journey, and we're rising into our creation, and you're remembering that we are creators, and women hold the mystery of creating. Okay, you hold the mystery of creation. This is women create, we birth, and all of that has been completely devalued, and creation, the role of, it's just been taken away, and we've allowed that to be taken away with our, it's just been safer. Okay, so I'll let the medical decide, or I'll let the patriarchal models decide. But no, it's you. And in my empowered IVF and assisted conception, it's like, where are you within that process? They are your support team. They are not telling you what is right or wrong. You are, I'm here to kind of guide you into your sense of self and knowing what is right or wrong for you, and having your support team supporting you. Okay, you're not giving your power away. It's not the medical that is bringing your baby to you. You are utilizing that, and they are supporting you as the woman in that. But it's you are the creator, you are the one receiving your baby, and the more you feel this knowing and this sense of self, you're just entering the process in a very different way. You're entering from a sense of empowered hope, rather than, oh my God, I've got to go and do this because of whatever pattern you're in, because I'm not good enough, because I need help, because all of this, we all need help, we all need support. The babies see it in a very different way. They see it as a way of allowing the egg and the sperm to come together in a way that may not be possible in any other way. So be in the magic of that, be in the wow, this is the magic of this is the magic that's being allowed to happen within my body. You are still the creator and allowing creation to happen in that process. Okay, So I think that's probably enough. What else did they say? Okay, they were so the babies were also saying, and how else is your creative journey? Do you feel all creation has stopped whilst you're on this baby journey? Why do you think this is? Is this to shift you into another gear, help you to see where you are out of balance and where creativity may be stuck? Or is it to punish you? No, it is never to punish you. It is always to lift you, and always to lift you higher and higher into who you know yourself to be, who your babies know you to be. You are not alone in this creation. You are co-creating and creating with your babies. Their experiences, your experiences. It is looking at creation through all eyes. And so what eyes are you looking through? You know, which eyes are you looking at yourself in? What eyes are you looking at the world in? The eyes of not enough? The eyes of I can't, it's too big, it's too scary, it's not possible. No, my dears, no. Look at it through the eyes of creation and the creative being you are. What is the creation in your experiences? Is it sadness? Is it aloneness? Is it a sense of failure or not being allowed? Is it being punished? This is your creation. And if you do not like your creation, look at what it is you do not like and erase the colours that look like they don't fit, and feel into the colours and the emotions. They're talking about colours, the emotions that do. How you're feeling about yourself and your journey to motherhood has not just happened because of the journey you are on. They were already there, and your journey to motherhood is bringing them to the surface for you, that you cannot ignore them any longer. It's intense. They're coming up for you to be seen. Is this feeling helpful? Is this what I want to continue creating? Is this what I want to be beaming out or feeling about myself anymore? And if that's a no, then okay, so how can what needs to happen? Who do I need to be for these heavy, intense energies? How can I find resolution to them? What needs to happen for me to find more peace, that I can find the truth of myself and move into this process in a more empowered way, a more truthful way, your truth. For this is the power of you, this is the power of all. So sit with your babies and feel into what it is you would like to create. Be in fun with them, for they are in fun. They do not wish to create more sadness. They do not wish to create more fear or more harm. They are simply showing you that this is what you are holding on to. And they are also showing you it is possible to not be in this, for they are in joy, and they are in joy of you. And so, my dears, be in joy, not sadness at what you don't yet have, but in what it is you are creating. And how does this look and feel? We love you. Okay, so, all right, really beautiful message of creation there. Expanding into creation. I'm not wanting, trying, getting. It's very contracting. Okay, I'm in the process of creation. I am creation, my baby's a creation, I'm creating together. It just feels more expansive. It feels more, there's more possibility in that. And there's more receiving in that as well, and in more empowerment in that. So, beautiful. Any questions around any of the messages? I know that's a lot to take in. Maybe I should have done 2 videos rather than all at the same time, but you can just listen in parts if you're watching the replay. But please do ask away with any questions. If you see this board before tomorrow night, there's a Spirit Baby evening happening, and also very excited to be running for the very first time as guided by the babies to really shift and help and ease and transform how you're feeling about yourself if you are on an IVF or assisted conception journey, egg, sperm donation, IUI. There's a very different way of looking at that experience and being in that experience that's more empowered. Okay, beautiful. So lots of love. And thank you for listening, but please do ask away and get in touch. Thank you. Oh, gorgeous. I'm just looking at the messages. Sorry, I didn't see the comments before. Hope that was okay. Oh, Sarah, you were listening. Gorgeous. Lisa, beautiful. Okay, I'd like to book onto this. Lovely. Do you want me to send you the link? I'll pop the link under there, Lisa, shall I? And then you can take a look. Is that for the fertility journey? Empowered IVF and assisted conception journey. Is that what you're talking about? Okay, I'll pop the link under here for you to have a look. But do message me as well if you wish to and ask any questions. It would be absolutely gorgeous to welcome you into that space. Okay, beautiful. Oh, for tomorrow night's session. Okay, lovely. I'll send you that link. Beautiful. Okay, and yeah, so any other questions right now that we could tune into? Just checking. Anything you want clarifying? Okay, all right, so absolutely gorgeous. Thank you for listening, holding you all in love, and yeah, just feeling that energy coming down. Don't remember to, remind yourself to release that program of the servant girl. And I'm just feeling lots of spirit baby energy around. Okay, so love and blessings. You take care. Bye.